Noisy Pixel.
I come from a time when games had to have the total attention of the player. Nowadays though, there's an influx of very popular games in the Asian market that pretty much lets players do a certain task, like battling, automatically, giving the player the opportunity to do something else. When I first learned about this, I had my doubts because there's no way this design can work and be fun. Yet somehow, Nexon Red's AxE, Alliance vs Empire, manages to make this mechanic enjoyable while still offering what you would expect out of an MMORPG. I'm Brad Crespo, and this is Noisy Pixel's review of Alliance vs Empire by Brock Jensen.
For justice!
Off the bat, the story of AxE isn't anything to marvel at. There's a good and bad faction who are at odds with each other. Pretty much the game has you go on a basic loop that has you run around meeting a bunch of NPCs, doing quests, fighting a wide mix of enemies, and picking flowers. So yes, this game gets pretty deep. I haven't really seen too many MMORPGs with engrossing lore besides World of Warcraft, so I can't fault this game for that. At the start, players can pick from 3 different classes in each faction. The Alliance offers an Archer, Titan, and the Blade Master, while the Empire has a Valkyrie, Warrior, and Mage. Ultimately, the system makes certain classes locked behind a faction, and I'm not a fan of the fact that I can't play certain classes just because of the faction I pick. While the locked character classes are disappointing, what's not disappointing is AxE's beautiful visuals. Right from the beginning, I was blown away by the visuals, which rival that of the likes of Terra. It was surprising to say the least for a mobile game. However, the dialogue scenes show somewhat crudely drawn NPCs, which is a sharp contrast to the visual beauty the rest of the game presents. Even major cutscenes look fantastic, almost reminiscent of epic fight scenes you would see in the Lord of the Rings. Speaking of fights, throughout the game, you gradually unlock more abilities for your character as you level up, opening up the different ways you can approach each fight. Fighting is actually engaging enough to feel like the abilities I use were impactful against enemies, and fights require you to keep track of your character's abilities and stats. However, I was almost force-fed a huge amount of equipment to boost the stats of my character that I sometimes wondered if I needed to put much thought into fights to begin with. It creates the illusion of choice in fights, since at times, I could literally button mash my basic attacks to win. Regardless, the developer did a great job of at least giving the feeling of choice, which I think isn't a bad thing. What I find most interesting is AxE's auto battle movement feature, where you can literally put down the game as it plays itself. Occasionally, you have to pick the game up to navigate a menu here and there to progress. While this is a bit of an odd concept, especially here in the West, I found it pretty useful since there have been plenty of times in other MMORPGs where I hated endlessly walking or having to farm small enemies for a quick quest. For multiplayer, there are plenty of dungeons, raids, and other events that offer PvP and PvE modes that greatly extend this game's length and can be unlocked as you go along the main campaign. AxE does a lot of things right, with its relatively engaging combat, a robust, although force-fed, list of items and equipment to use for your character, and beautiful design. AxE offers something that I haven't exactly seen from other mobile MMORPGs. It is weird that I can find joy in not having to actually play the game, but at least I don't have to always button mash for a fight. However, there isn't really a reason to play the game via manual mode. Either way, AxE is a much welcomed experience since the mobile platform lacks MMORPGs as unique as what this game offers. Noisy Pixel is giving AxE Alliance vs Empire a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. You can read our full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is ran by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all of our future content.